In this episode, fire, water, and garbage. Welcome to episode 52 of the We Are Auto Show. Happy birthday to us.
Happy birthday to us indeed. We do this weekly. It's week 52. You know what that means.
If my math is correct, that would mean that it's been now a year of us doing the We Are Auto Show.
It has been a year. It's actually been pretty entertaining.
Honestly, it's been a lot of fun.
I've learned a lot.
Me too. There's so many like random facts, and I'm like, whoa, I didn't know a Prius is 0 to 60 in like almost double digits.
And you should never tow with one.
Yeah, and you should never tow with one.
Yes.
All of the random things.
But I have here a little candle for us, and a cupcake. I'm going to light it, and you blow it out, buddy.
All right.
It's our happy birthday.
All right.
I don't think we should sing, because that's just...
Happy birthday. Okay. Derek, you can light a candle. Oh, we have fire. We have fire.
We barely have it, but we have fire.
All right. So I guess we should blow this out.
Mm-hmm.
We're not going to blow it at the same time. That'd
Happy
just be
birthday,
weird.
buddy. You do it.
Happy birthday to the show. Happy birthday to you and I doing this show together. It's a lot of fun, to be honest. Thanks for everyone that's joined as a guest and that's listened and that's left a review and everything. And this has just been a ton of fun over the past year. I look forward to keep going. But I think I'm going to blow it out because I'm getting smoked out.
Solid.
Woo.
All right. Let's leave that there for a little bit.
Okay. We'll leave it there for a little bit.
Sounds good. So, as we normally do with the show, let's get into the news.
Okay.
So, did you see the news? And I think I sent you this at one point. That there is a ship ablaze out in the middle of the ocean, and it has some beloved cars to you.
I'm on fire, Ricky Bobby. I'm on fire. Yeah, there's some dead German cars.
There are some dead German cars. There is a ship out by the Azores, which I think is an island off the coast of Europe, like way out.
Yeah, I think it's like a small sequence of like a chain of islands west of like Spain.
Yes, way west though, many hundreds of miles west of Spain. And it is currently, I think yesterday it was on fire, and it's probably still smoldering and smoking today. And in it has a whole bunch of cars that you really like.
There are a whole bunch of cars I really like.
There are 1,100 Porsches.
Gasp.
Including some 911s. I know some Taycans are on there. There are some Audis. There's around 200 Bentleys.
Okay.
There's some Volkswagens. I believe some ID4s are on the ship. And the problem with this is that all these EVs, when they catch fire, they tend to not stop being on fire.
For, frankly, ever. Yeah.
Yeah, no, they just keep on catching on fire.
Yeah, like you light it, it goes out, and then poof, 30 minutes later, it's back on fire again.
Each one of those little batteries pops, and then they keep smoldering and smoking and catch on fire.
Yeah, you can ask Richard Hammond how that goes.
It's not ideal.
No, especially not when you're hundreds of miles off the coast of Spain by the Azores and you're in the middle of the ocean.
Yeah, I am surprised that car companies are not... I know that they take the structure around the battery pack to be very safe, but I'm surprised that there's not still some sort of fire suppression system in the actual batteries themselves.
I don't know the answer to this because this is not a problem that we have had up until recent with EVs.
Yeah.
Right? Like, if you lost an old Beetle, well then, poof, it's just gone, and then it's just dead at the bottom of the ocean.
Yeah.
It doesn't just keep catching on fire forever.
There's a hole in your engine block. Well, that's it.
And it sucks to suck,
yeah,
right?
That's the end of that.
I laugh that there's a ship with cars on fire in the ocean.
Yes.
What puts out fire? Water?
Right.
What? Sink the ship. You can't just do that.
No, you can't do that.
But I just laugh at that.
There are concerns about the ship sinking and you having
also,
battery acid and bad things at the bottom.
Here's the also question. Here's another idea. What conducts electricity? Water.
Yeah, salt water, right?
Yeah.
Some salinity in it.
So does that mean we just keep conducting the fires off?
No.
Just turn the entire Atlantic Ocean and just alive. You just touch it and just get electrocuted.
Let me pose you this question.
Yeah?
Has lightning ever hit the water?
Oh, of course.
Okay, why are you not zapped instantly when you get in the water?
Because I am superhuman. I don't know. I'm sure there's
it doesn't work the way you think in your head.
You're right. It does.
Yes.
Because I'm just imagining just
That's
like
fine.
bzz, and then you have magical powers that you can like shock people with.
Yes.
Like that, right?
So I think that the long story short here is I hope that car manufacturers at some point figure out how to deal with the EV battery problem and like the catching fire, because this is going to become more and more of a problem over time.
It is.
And I wonder if we'll see maybe laws or legislation will go in place that will force manufacturers or battery manufacturers to like enact some way to reduce this problem, because it's going to become a bigger problem.
I also have another question for you. How long until you think it's completely like fire's gone?
I don't think it will like they
Is it a
stop
month
all the
long?
fire.
Yeah.
No, I think it's gonna be a few days. I think, and once you douse it in enough water, if it's just submerged in water, the packs will stop bouncing the fire between them.
In theory.
You just have to chuck enough water out. The problem is you can't submerge a boat in water without it sinking.
That's the issue.
So,
Right? They're made to
yeah.
float, not to sink.
Yes. Yeah. So I don't know. We'll see. I'm sure that in the next few days, it'll probably be sorted out and towed back to port. But from what I can tell, all the cars are probably toast in that vehicle or in that ship.
Oh, it's done. Yeah,
Yeah.
everything, all the 1100 Porsches. Yeah. Sad to know that there was some 911s and turbos, but I guess the good news is that there was a lot of EVs. So I guess you got to crack a couple eggs to make an omelet, don't you? There will be some collateral damage with our idea to ban the world of EVs.
So you would rather see the 911s burn alongside the Taycans if the Taycans burn? Wow.
You got collateral damage.
Wow. Never thought I'd see the day that you were fine with 911s burning away.
I'm just saying.
Okay. All right. Let's move on to some other news.
Okay.
But let's keep it along the EV lines.
No.
This one you're going to get a kick out of.
Okay.
And I think our audience will too. There's an article that came out. Tesla recalls 53,000 cars because they won't stop at stop signs. This is a good one.
Oh, this is great. So you're telling me that Tesla is recalling their cars because the Teslas are not stopping at stop signs. They're making like the California stop where they just kind of like just roll stop signs. Is that it? Or are they just going through them at like 40?
No, it's the California rule.
Oh,
so
great.
in a Tesla, you can change your driving mood, I think is what they call it.
A driving mood.
Do you ever have a driving mood? What would you say the mood of BMW drivers are?
That is the mood, is BMW. The mood is just classified as a BMW driver. That's just the mood of it.
That makes more sense.
Because you should actually be able to set your Tesla to your driving mood as BMW.
Here are the options for the Tesla driving mood. Chill,
Oh my God.
average, and aggressive.
What hip-ass millennial decided to call it chill?
Sorry, chill, average, and assertive. Not aggressive, assertive.
I don't see BMW on that list.
No, it's not there. But I would imagine that assertive is probably more on the BMW side, right?
I think BMW would be the next level past assertive.
Might be. But I think we should change the wording to BMW to said bad words. But we'll move on from that.
Fair enough.
So here's a quote from the article. In assertive mode, if a Tesla approaches a four-way stop intersection at less than 6.5 miles an hour, and it indicates that no other road users or pedestrians are near the intersection, it will carry on traveling at that speed instead of coming to a complete stop at the stop sign.
Oh my God. So you're telling me that a Tesla coming to a stop sign, if it doesn't sense anyone else around it, it's just going to scream through there at 6 miles an hour?
If it's in assertive mode. Yes.
I'm sorry, officer. It wasn't me. My Tesla's just set to assertive. So it decided to roll that stop sign.
Yeah, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. I get the whole point of having the different
Yes, but a stop sign.
moods of driving.
What are the 4 letters on a stop sign? This is a stupid question. But what are the 4 letters on a stop sign?
Go faster.
Well, are they STOP
Yeah.
or are they ROLL?
Ooh, good one. STOP. Yeah.
Apparently now it's translating it to ROLL.
I don't know why this was programmed into this car. This is bad.
It was a Californian company.
Yes.
It's a Californian stop.
I like I said, I understand the point of having the different moods of driving because in certain situations, if you're in a New York highway, you don't want it to be in chill mood. The only way to make that lane
Correct.
change is to be more aggressive.
Is to be a BMW driver, yes.
Yes. But if you're in retirement somewhere along the island in Florida, like you can be in chill mood, and that's fine. You'll be fine. But it rolling stop signs is probably not right. That's bad. That's really bad.
I'm sorry, but that's illegal, actually.
It is.
Like, I can't... The law says that you can't program your own brain to say, there's no one at this stop sign. I'm just going to go coasting on through this at 6 miles. 6 miles per hour is damn fast, by the way, to be rolling through a stop sign.
Yeah.
That's not like almost stop where it's like, I didn't just quite feel the car rock back. That's like you're just coasting through it. Mm-hmm. Dear God.
Yeah, apparently NHTSA got involved, and there's like not good things happening. But the interesting thing that I also saw here is that this is a recall. Like, Tesla's all about software, right? So I thought that they'd just push a software update to change this.
Yeah, why wouldn't they do... Why do they have to do a full recall?
It's a full recall because this is firmware that has to change, which means that this is hardware level software. So this is like you have to change a physical chip on the computer or remove the whole computer and swap it in to change this hardware level software.
Who decided this was a good idea in Tesla?
That's a terrible idea.
Like, who
I don't know.
Within Tesla thought, let's just roll that stop sign and let's make it so that we can't just update it on the go and on the fly via cloud and all this shit that you guys understand that I don't.
Right.
Why? Because that's the whole point of a Tesla is your car just updates itself and all of a sudden you've got the latest update that lets you do whatever you want to do, right?
Yep.
Why did they make it so deep down buried inside this Tesla that you have to take it in?
Generally, you would put stuff on the firmware level so that it's not like hackable, right? Not as easily hackable over the network. Okay. And primarily for security reasons. So I'm assuming that they did this for security purposes. The problem with it is that they now kind of pigeonholed themselves into actually having to change the physical components of the car for all of these.
I just laugh. Security reasons.
Yes.
Part of security is keeping a driver safe. In theory.
This is like software security.
Well, yes, but I'm just general in security, right? The word security secures things.
There's security and safety.
Yes, security and safety go hand in hand. But in my opinion, would this not be literally a massive safety and security thing from the get-go? Like, I don't get this. This is stupid.
Maybe in California they do stop signs differently.
Maybe they're green stop signs.
Maybe
that's what happens. They're just green.
They green and they say roll.
Yeah. Maybe that's a Californian's way of a green sign that says roll. Okay, I need to roll a joint.
Yeah.
This is California, right?
Roll through.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's a wild one, but it sucks for Tesla to have to fix 53,000 cars.
I'm sorry, but ha Cyborg, serve you right.
And from what I've seen, it's across like the whole lineup: the X, the Y, the S, the 3. It's
the sexy,
the whole
sexy lineup,
the whole sexy lineup. Yes.
Oh boy,
an interesting one though.
Yes. Mm-hmm. How about some more interesting news that I don't know if either of us actually fully understand?
Sure.
Okay. So we did talk about Porsche earlier and all their cars on fire, liar, liar, pants on fire. Ha 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 ha. Mm-hmm. But there is some more Porsche news.
Okay.
There's some Porsche finance and investment news.
I think that this is a rumor. I don't know that this is necessarily...
I don't know if it's true news or if this is through the grapevine.
I think it's through the grapevine.
But it was posted on, is it Reuters?
Yeah.
Reuters?
Reuters.
However the hell you pronounce it.
A news source.
Yeah.
A reputable news source. A pretty
reputable news source.
Yes.
That Volkswagen is, and one of their investors in Porsche are trying to nudge the Porsche brand into doing an IPO, or also known as an initial public offering. Yeah. So for finance people, that's obviously when a company goes public and traded on the obvious, the stock market, and then you can then buy and invest in them.
This is weird to me. This is very odd to me.
Yeah, this whole thing is just perplexing.
I don't understand why Volkswagen would want to, from what the article says, Volkswagen is trying to seek to list 25% of Porsche AG. What does AG stand for?
Auto Group,
okay. If the IPO were to go ahead as planned currently. So why would Volkswagen want to essentially remove 25% of their stake in Porsche and put it out there on the stock market? Is this a raising funds kind of thing? Is this just capital investment is what they're trying to do here?
I'm not sure. I'm honestly not sure the real reasoning here. I think it's just straight up money. I think it's straight up money because, apparently some of the analysts are estimating that if Porsche were to go public, then Porsche Auto Group, they could be valued at up to $102 billion.
Okay, so it's a lot of money.
This is some real money here.
This is some real money, but from at least in some of the past, exclude Tesla in this, but in at least one IPO that I've seen recently, which was Rivian, it hasn't gone well for them.
Yeah, you're right. It hasn't.
It hasn't gone well for them at all.
See, I'm not a huge fan of Porsche going public. As much as I want to own a part of my favorite brand, that does sound great. I just think that that's going to kill its enthusiastness of it, because then they're having to cater to SEC, the Security Exchange Commission, and all the compliance people about, oh, you can't say this, you can't do that, your shareholders want this, your shareholders want that, which I know they're a big company, so they're already having to answer to a lot of finance people like that, but it just seems like this is just going to put the clamps down on the stuff that enthusiasts like us want. Like, for example, a GT3 with a naturally aspirated flat six that revs to $9,000 and a manual transmission.
Yeah, it starts to handcuff you, right?
Yeah.
And like you're guided by now the voting rights of all the people who own your stock, which I don't know. I'm not a huge fan of that.
Would you invest in Porsche AG?
I don't think so, no. Would you?
Just cuz.
I'd
buy like a share just cuz, but honestly, I don't like the idea.
I don't like the idea either. And like looking at Rivian IPO'd at around $130. Their stock's currently at 57.
Oh my god.
Yeah. I mean, they're in a different spot than Porsche right now.
Yeah, but that was it's
not good.
A huge drop.
Volkswagen, I wonder what's going to happen to their stock, because their stock's currently at $21 and they've been around.
Is that their
forever.
full stock? I see what you're looking at.
Maybe
I don't know if that's their proper stock.
That might be. Yeah, it might not
one
be.
of their separate holdings.
Yeah. I don't know. I'll be curious to see where this goes. It is only a rumor right now, but I hope that they don't go down this path.
We'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. I hope they don't go down this path, but I guess you just never know.
No, it would be an interesting one though.
It would.
So let's move on to something else that's kind of interesting.
Okay.
There's an article out there that says that the military, our U.S. military, is looking to go full EV.
What?
Could you imagine an EV tank?
No. Why do we care? Why do we care about the fumes coming out of the exhaust pipe when the freaking cannon pipe in the front has got depleted uranium coming out of it? Yes, that's great for the environment. Like, are you freaking kidding me? Yes, let's care about such a minor number of actual pollution that's coming out of the exhaust pipe when we're launching mortars and all sorts of RPGs and belt-fed machine guns off of these things. Like, come on.
The Army has adopted a plan to transition into using hybrid electric vehicles in tactical vehicles by 2035. So by 2035, they want most of the fleet to be hybrid. Okay. And then full EV by 2050.
That's so dumb.
Full EV by 2050 is a long way away.
Okay, I'm sorry, but if we're doing this for, like, save the earth and eat organic peace beans and all this reasons, which it feels like they are, why the hell why are we worried about the emissions from a Humvee when you've got other countries like China or, I don't know, Australia or wherever that are polluting everything? Like, what? Come on.
I don't know. I'm just reading what the article says here, buddy.
Could you imagine an EV tank? Like, could you imagine it?
The only upside that I see is it's silent.
I was actually about to go there, is you get the level of stealth.
And you don't have the heat coming out the exhaust, which could be used for thermal, right? Targeting purposes.
Do batteries not give off heat?
Not nearly as much. I don't think.
Fair. But also, what about an EMP?
That would be more of a problem. But I think that even with a gasoline engine, an EMP is going to do.
But not to a gasoline engine. To all your electronics, sure.
Yes.
But it'll still run.
But the tank won't be a tank anymore after an EMP, regardless of if it's an EV or a gasoline.
And I just feel like, I don't know. This is just... Stop trying to EV everything. EV is not the answer to everything. An EV electric
Throw more
vehicle.
EV at it.
Like, is that not the way that the government works? Is like, okay, something's not working. Let's just throw more at it and more.
Currently, yes. Well, let me read you one more quote here.
Okay.
Efforts have actually begun over with over 18,000 non-tactical vehicles removed and replaced by 3,000 hybrid vehicles in the last 3 years, saving the Army about 13 million gallons of fuel per year.
Okay. Go ahead. Keep going. I'm sorry.
And saving what is $50 million a year.
Okay, hold on. I already see the skewed data here.
Okay.
They replaced 18,000 vehicles with 3,000 vehicles. Of course you're going to save $50 million and 13 million gallons of fuel. You've cut it by 15,000 vehicles.
Mm-hmm.
I'm sorry, but what? Of course that's going to make the numbers go down if you cut 15,000 vehicles out. You can't say you replaced 18,000 with 3,000 and call it like we're not going to catch the fact that those are two very drastically different numbers.
Yeah,
if they would have said we replaced 18,000 NTVs, non-tactical vehicles, with 18,000 hybrids and EVs, great.
Yeah, as far as I'm reading this, that's not how it's worded.
Like, I'm not going to buy into this shit. I'm sorry. I'm just not.
All right. I'm very curious to see if they will move vehicles over. I can see advantages and disadvantages to both. And I don't know if the advantages outweigh the disadvantages. I'm not sure.
I'm not sure. I don't think that... I don't know.
You could do cool articulation stuff.
But you could also think about it this way. If you're way out in the middle of nowhere, and if you're on some covert op, and you run out of gas, you can siphon gas or get gas from your buddy's Humvee. Mm-hmm. Whereas you're got to sit there for 4 hours while you've got... enemy mortars raining down on you while you're trying to siphon like 2% charge to get you a mile and a half.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know what that looks like at all.
Like I'm thinking, and obviously neither of us have true military or combat experience, but
right.
Even me as a dumb civilian, I'm looking at this thinking, tactically, that doesn't seem very smart.
Unless they had internal combustion engines to charge the battery or huge solar panels or even like RTGs, which are like little nuclear engines to make power. I don't know. I don't know how they're going to do that.
I may just be a dumb, dirty civilian, but this just seems a little bit wrong, and I think the U.S. Army should focus their efforts on other things. Because
throw more EVs at it.
Oh, God damn it, Derek. No. All right, so shall we move on?
We shall. Let's move on to something that's not EV related.
Please, because I'm tired of talking about EVs.
Okay. It is something quite the opposite of EVs.
Ooh, what do you got for us then?
This weekend was the Great American Race.
Yeah, brother. Raise hail, praise Dale.
Did you watch any of the Great American Race?
So I usually work on Saturdays and Sundays. Mm-hmm. So I didn't get to see the start. The only part of the race I saw was like the last 10 minutes or so. Which,
last 10 minutes? Okay.
In my opinion, was jolly exciting. I got to admit.
So you actually liked it?
Yeah.
Okay. What did you like about the race? At least the last 10 minutes that you saw.
What do you think I liked about it?
I don't know. That's why I'm asking.
There was drama.
Okay.
In the way of wrecks and big booms and things, and people were sliding and walls were being hit, and there was rubbing is racing, baby. And there was some rubbing.
Let me ask you this.
Yeah?
When you watch racing, are you watching racing for close racing, or are you watching racing for wrecking?
Well, that depends on the race I'm watching. If I'm watching IMSA, I'm watching for close racing. I'm looking for battles and duels in a corner. If I'm watching NASCAR, I want to see some cars on fire and upside down and 20 stories high in the air. And, like, I want drivers to be safe, but goddamn, I want them to be scrapping.
Good. Because lucky for you, basically how this race turned out.
At least that's what I got in the last like 10, 15, 20 minutes, because there was a wreck. I remember seeing that then caused everyone to go yellow, then go green again, then with another wreck or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was fun.
Let me run you through a couple things that happened here, a couple talking points, okay?
Please do.
This year's Daytona 500 was the first time that we've had the new cars, right?
Yeah.
And we talked about those new cars, the carbon bodies, the single lug nuts, the sequential transmissions, the different suspension, different everything, basically.
Very different.
Only thing that's the same, I believe, is the steering wheel and the pedals. Like, that's it. Basically nothing else.
I think you're right, yeah.
One interesting note that I saw when I was watching the race is the first sequence of green flag pit stops happened. And this was the first time that we had them actually changing the single lug nuts, right?
Was everyone confused?
Sports cars have had this for a very long time. IMSA's been running single lug nuts for forever, right?
Pretty much every other race series in the world has been running single lug nuts.
F1's
with
been
the
doing
exception
this.
of NASCAR.
So the good old boys finally figured out, okay, we can do this.
Yeah.
And right after the first pit stop, 2 to 3 cars lose wheels coming out of pit road.
Oh my God.
Bad.
Did they really lose the wheels?
Yes, it was bad. It was just caution, caution, immediately after each other, because I think on the same lap, 2 different cars lost wheels because of this new lug nut system.
This is not that hard to figure out.
No.
I'm going to offend people, but how many rednecks does it take to change a tire with a single lug?
Not.
Apparently a lot of them.
They needed more.
Because
they needed more. Yes.
And I can say that because deep down inside, there's a little bit of red in me, I suppose.
Mm-hmm. Now, if you've ever seen NASCAR, they're going real fast in a big long straightaway, and it's around like 190, almost 200 is what they're normally going.
They're screaming, yeah, they're cruising.
Have you ever seen a NASCAR go airborne?
I think maybe a few times, yeah.
It was probably 10 years ago. They were very well known that if the car got backwards, basically all the aerodynamics went in reverse, and instead of sticking the car to the ground, it would lift the car up.
Yeah.
And they would go airborne very easily.
Yeah, I remember the little like flaps they implemented because of that.
They implemented those little flaps on the front and on the top, on the hood, and also on the very top of the car to make sure that they wouldn't go airborne. Now, these cars, there was one incident where one driver did get airborne, and all the flaps were also up, which is not good.
Oh, boy.
Not good for NASCAR. NASCAR basically does everything to stop these cars from getting airborne. Because if you get cars airborne, people die.
They can, yeah.
That's how Dan Weldon died in IndyCar. He got airborne into the fence. There was a nasty accident that was in the last couple laps of the support race for the Daytona 500, where an engine got ripped out of a car because it got in the catch fencing at 200 miles an hour.
Holy shit.
And he was actually okay, but what was left of that car was the frame, and that was it. Nothing else was left of that car.
Oh, my God.
So, in my opinion, they didn't do a very good job of keeping these cars grounded. Not a good look for NASCAR overall. And these new cars were supposed to be designed to keep grounded. I did also notice that when they were bump drafting, the little hood flaps that were to keep the car grounded were coming up and down very quickly a lot, very often. Because the air is swirling around in there, and if it was low pressure air, it's supposed to pop those little fins up.
Yeah.
That was causing issues with certain cars where they were coming up and down so fast that it would break the struts that they were attached to. And those were flying off of cars.
Oh my God.
Or getting wedged in at a weird angle.
So then they were useless.
Yeah, and being useless and almost doing the opposite effect.
Providing lift.
Yes, providing lift.
Oh, God.
Not an ideal start for NASCAR.
This is the first real proper race with the new cars.
It is.
It's not the Clash, but the first real race. So
yeah, the Clash was a bit of a different story.
Yeah.
It was the first time that we got to see their drafting arrow, and I will say their drafting was better than everybody expected.
Yeah.
The cars did stay in a pretty good pack. If you allowed for green flag running for a lot of laps, they would start to split up and you'd get small attacks of 4 or 5 cars. But there were enough cautions to keep everybody packed up, which was good. And there was also a lot of good side drafting, which I like to see in NASCAR. Yeah. Because it means it gets the cars closer. It keeps the drafting and the racing really close. It's awesome. Yep. And you can see good runs happen between the cars. But with all that drafting, that does mean that there are some accidents. And there were plenty of accidents.
That's why I watch NASCAR.
Yes.
That's why most people watch NASCAR. Let's be honest.
By the end of this race, there were 15 cars on the lead lap. 40 started the race.
Ouch.
Which means you saw...
That's a lot of an attrition rate there.
Over 60% of the field is toast.
Pretty well, yeah.
Either had mechanical failures or something like that, or were more than likely crashed out.
That attrition rate is not good.
Not at all. There were at least 3 to 4 big accidents. That
Now the
took out
question
multiple
is,
cars.
will all those wrecked out cars be able to race in the next race?
That is the question. And that's unknown because that's this weekend.
Where is the next race? Do you remember?
Sonoma.
Yikes.
In California. So, we'll see. I know that many of the cars were written off, and I haven't heard any news of teams buying cars from small teams like we had speculated or anything like that.
Yeah.
But overall, personally, I didn't really like the Daytona 500
What?
because I wasn't watching it for the wreck fest that it was. I was watching it to see if the new cars were good at racing and well engineered. And from my perspective, they were good at racing, but not as well engineered as I thought they were going to be.
I agree. I agree with that statement. I do think they're good at racing. I really want to see these cars on a road course. I'm dying
They're
to
going
see
to do
these.
great. They're going to be fantastic.
Dying to see these cars race a road course like COTA or a Daytona road course or
Right.
Roval or whatever it is. Like, I'm dying to see these cars on a road course.
They're going to be fantastic on a road course, and that's what they should be.
That's going to be great racing. That's going to be more than just wrecks.
Now, you did see the end, right?
I did.
Did you see who won the race?
I believe it was Austin Cindric,
It
right
was.
by a nose over, who was it, Bubba Wallace?
Bubba Wallace. Bubba Wallace, for the second time, finished second in the Daytona 500. Yikes.
Bummer, and he also had Tuesday on 2/22/22 as well, just shortly after.
He
A lot
did.
of twos there. Yikes.
Yeah. But Austin Cindric, a rookie.
Was he a rookie?
He's a rookie.
That's freaking cool.
He had his rookie stripes on the back of that car when he won the Daytona 500.
That's freaking cool. The picture we're looking at right now is you can see Austin Cindric winning by literally a nose.
And Bubba Wallace actually had damage on like the front right or front left. I don't remember. Somewhere he was involved in an incident that basically, if he had not been involved, people suspect he would have had the run to win the race. Yeah.
Honestly, really cool finish, that like actual proper photo finish where it was, I mean, watching it was, you could see all the pictures of it being honestly like by a nose, by a fender.
From an entertainment perspective, I think it did wonders for NASCAR. I think it did fantastic.
I agree.
From a racing perspective, it didn't do so hot. But
I think it did exactly the way I was expecting it to do in the racing perspective. I was not expecting this to be close racing like we would expect in the WEC World Endurance Challenge Championship. But
I wasn't expecting super close, but I was hoping for better racing, and I was also hoping for no cars getting airborne, and that is a big disappointment for me. Yes. Overall, a solid B is what I'd give NASCAR.
yeah, fair enough.
Yeah.
Fair enough. One quick note in the racing world is this upcoming weekend is the St. Pete Grand Prix, so Indy. Plus, there's also the GT4 race that is one of the supporting races. Quick little shout out to one of our local peeps here, SRQ Motorsports. They're fielding 2 BMW M4s in the GT4 race. Good luck to you guys out there this weekend. Can't wait to see how this runs out for you.
Should be awesome.
Yeah.
I don't believe that either of us will be there.
I won't be there.
But if you are there, hit us up on social and send some pictures over.
Yeah.
Love to see it.
Please do.
So, do you remember the first episode that we ever did?
Vaguely, yeah.
We picked, and we usually ask this to every guest that we have on the show, what car would you buy with unlimited money?
Okay.
Right?
I remember that, yep.
And we each had our picks. I would like to come back to that every year anniversary that we have, because I suspect that our picks would change over time.
Yeah. I'm good with that.
Okay.
I'm good with that.
Then let's kick it off with you first.
Okay.
You have unlimited money.
All right.
You can buy any car you want. This is a big decision for you.
It is.
Okay. And what did you have in the first episode?
So
and what would it be now?
If we go back to episode number 1, episode uno, my pick was a Porsche, obviously, 911 GT3 Touring, more specifically 991.2.
Okay.
Manual transmission. It only came with manual. But that was my pick a year ago.
Would it change now?
It would.
Interesting. Why?
Cause maybe because I forgot about the Singer DLS a year ago, but also because just I can't stop looking at the Singer DLS. My new pick for if I had unlimited money would be a Singer DLS. So this is kind of like the Eagle Speedster of the E-Type, but for the 911. It's where Singer, which is kind of a retrofitting, reimagining company, essentially creates the perfect 911 that has ever existed.
Perfect. Okay.
Perfect. And I mean perfect, but more specifically the DLS, which stands for the Dynamics and Lightweighting Study.
It's not DRS. It's not drag reduction system.
No, but it does actually have technology that is similar to DRS.
Okay.
So let me give you a little stats about the DLS. And I'm not sure if you're watching on YouTube, you probably see the most glorious picture of the Singer DLS sliding sideways by, I believe that's Chris Harris, the Top Gear presenter, painted in oak green metallic, which I'm a big green guy. And it's got that beautiful little ducktail in the back. Oh, my God. It's the perfect 911. But let me give you some stats on the DLS. 500 horsepower.
Solid.
9,000 RPM redline, so it'll rev to 9K.
Fantastic.
So it's going to rev the nuts off the thing.
It's going to sound good.
You know how much it weighs with that 500 horsepower? Remember, the DLS stands for Dynamics and Lightweighting Study.
Okay, so it should be light, but it's a chunky little boy.
It's got some hips.
I'll give it
I'm an ass man.
2,800 pounds.
So good guess, but you're way too heavy.
Oh.
Just a hair over 2,100 pounds.
Oh, I'm way too heavy. Okay.
That's how much does your BRZ weigh?
I think it's 2,400.
So this weighs less than your BRZ with 500 horsepower.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that'd be a bit of a rocket.
Oh my God. Would that not be the greatest thing in the world?
It would be
the greatest thing in the world.
I think that's a solid power to weight where it's not too much too.
But
it's not going to kill you.
It's just perfect.
Right.
God, it's perfect. It's 500 horsepower, 2,100 pounds. Oh, 6-speed manual. This is the essence of 911.
Okay.
It is the perfect 911. 0 to 60, about 3 seconds.
That's perfect. It doesn't really need much faster than that. Like, what does faster do anyway?
Nope, not on this car. And this particular DLS is, I think, the actual DLS that is, if I had unlimited money, infinite money, I would buy this particular one, painted in that oak green metallic.
Oak green metallic.
Yep.
So it's paint to sample?
Actually, in regular Porsches, yeah, it is a paint to sample color.
Okay.
You get a paint to sample oak green metallic. It's almost like British Racing Green that's metallic.
Okay.
Stunning, in my opinion. I do love that the body of the DLS, it's more flared than a regular Singer.
It does. It has the fender flares.
Yeah, it's more flared. It's got the perfect ducktail on it, which is just beautiful. It's got that intake scoop on that rear quarter window. Honestly, it is like if I could just imagine this, like if you took like an old proper RSR race car, like a 911 RSR race car.
Like the one they used to run in IMSA?
Way back. Like,
okay.
70s, 80s.
Okay.
And made it new. If you could reimagine, it's perfect.
Modernizing to the perfect spec in old Porsche.
It is literally perfect. But a really cool thing about the Singer DLS is that Singer partnered with some really big motorsports companies to make this the perfect car.
Like who?
So they partnered with Williams, like the Williams, team? Right?
Okay.
So this has got F1 technology in it. They partnered with Bosch, BBS Motorsport, that made custom, proper forged kind of Fuchs-style wheels that are lightweight and strong. They partnered with Michelin themselves to make a custom tire specifically for the DLS that you can't just go to your local tire shop and get. And Brembo and Hewland.
Wow. Holy moly.
This is the bee's knees.
Check off the list of big name custom modding stuff.
Like
throw them all in there.
When you say the perfect 911, you're thinking of the Singer DLS.
Okay.
That actual car, I would do many things too.
Drive. You would drive. Yes, you would drive it. Yes.
I'm going to stop there.
Okay.
Do you want to talk about another big number here? Because we said unlimited money, infinite money, right?
We did say unlimited money, but I would like to know what the price of this would be.
Okay. You ready?
I don't know if I am.
So, this is the perfect car.
Oh boy.
You're going to pay for perfection. Perfection has a price, doesn't it?
Okay.
It's not a cheap price either. The price is listed in pounds. It's almost 1.5 million pounds. Plus the donor car. Because you've got to buy the actual car that they reimagine.
Oh, I see. So you buy a Porsche, and which one is this?
You buy a Porsche 964, which was an air-cooled 911, early 90s.
Okay. How much are those going for?
They used to be, the 964 used to be the ugly duckling.
Okay.
So the 964 was the body style of the air-cooleds that everyone kind of gawked at, and they're like, it's too plain, it's just too meh. Mm-hmm. But now 964s are starting to go up in value a bunch, right? You're potentially looking 50, 60, 100, 150,000 depending on the 964. I would imagine if you're doing a Singer style car like this, you're getting a cheap crappy one and letting them just redo it.
Okay.
So you're 1.6 million pounds, I would imagine.
Okay. So add another 100,000 on there.
Ish, plus or minus, depending on the car.
Right. Okay. 1.6 million pounds, which would be, I don't even know what that would be.
You know what? I'll convert it. We have a Google machine.
It's probably like 1.8 million or something like that. Would be a lot of money, but money was not, it wasn't relevant. What is it?
So 1.6 million pounds to US dollars. It's $2.1 million.
2.1 mil.
Honestly, it's the perfect car.
But couldn't you buy a brand new
Don't care.
You could buy.
Don't care.
What's the supercar that they make?
They don't really make a supercar right
The
now.
ridiculous hybrid one.
They haven't made that in years.
Oh.
The 918 has stopped
being
being made for many years. But you could, in theory, buy two of them.
What's the top of the line right now?
They don't have a top of the line. They have a Turbo S and a GT3.
Okay, what are those?
Turbo S is
250, 300?
Yeah, GT3.
Around there?
Close, yeah.
Okay. So you could buy three of those
but it's
or
not
one
this.
of these.
But if I already have those, I'll have this.
You could buy, you could buy 5, 6 of them. Like you could buy
a lot
absurd
of them.
of them.
But the DLS is the perfect car. If I had unlimited money, that is the car I buy. The Singer DLS in that spec, oak green metallic, with just that car in my garage for me to just even oogle and drive and just, goddamn. They only made 75 of them.
Oh my gosh.
So
okay.
There's a reason they're $2 million.
Okay. Would you actually daily drive that though?
If I had the unlimited money to keep and maintain it and everything, hell yeah.
Okay.
Singers are known to be drivers.
Okay.
Singers, a lot of people that buy Singers drive their Singers.
As they should.
Because that's the whole point of them. You drive it because it is a pure driver's car.
Right.
And it happens to be pretty, in my opinion.
So if you were handed the car, but you said, like, maintenance and all that stuff's reasonably on you, big problems, right?
For me?
Well, all right. Assume
if I'm the Sultan of Brunei, no.
Okay.
For me personally, because I'm not a quadrillionaire, that would be a struggle.
Okay. You probably wouldn't daily it.
I wouldn't be able to.
Yeah. Okay.
But that's my unlimited money pick.
Last question. Do you think it will change next year?
Maybe. Probably not, but maybe.
Okay.
We will see what we will see.
All right. Let's go to mine because I have a way different choice than you.
Okay. I remember episode 1, it had to do something with an EV. I don't remember which one it was, but what was it?
I'm pretty sure that mine was a Tesla Model S Plaid.
Okay.
And I really wanted it's mainly just any sort of Tesla with the full self-driving beta.
Boring.
Or I just roll stop signs on you all day long.
At 6 miles an hour.
put it into BMW mode, and I'm good to go.
Yes.
Yeah, but what I wanted to see is I wanted to watch it learn how to drive, right? I wanted to get the over-the-air updates and watch the full self-driving beta in action, which is kind of interesting because 1 month it could take a corner well, and the next month it could take a corner bad.
Yeah.
Interesting to watch. Now, I will say the interior, bleh. The driving feel, bleh. Kind of everything else about the car.
It's just a spicy golf cart.
It's like the hot phone of the year.
Yeah.
And kind of bland at the same time.
You're right. It is. It's like the newest iPhone that everyone's like, I have to have it now.
But from a car enthusiast perspective, it's kind of bland, right?
Yeah. It goes really fast in a straight line, and it goes really fast around track if you really want, but meh.
So I would still drive a Tesla, but I'm going to change my pick to if I had unlimited money.
Okay. If you had unlimited money, what do you pick?
I'm going to keep it tech, though.
Come on.
Why change it? It's going to be interesting. I would choose a truck.
I'm sorry?
I would choose a truck.
I'm sorry. You are going from a Tesla Model S Plaid to a truck.
A truck.
So if you had unlimited money, you would get a truck.
I would get a truck.
I don't believe you. I don't believe you.
I would buy a Rivian R1T.
Would you?
Mm-hmm.
For the tunnel?
For the tunnel, and kind of it's the new hot phone on the market, right?
Oh, you trendy bugger. You're so trendy. Now you're going to get plaid shirts and a handlebar mustache and hipster beer, aren't you?
And we're going to go cut down some trees. Hell yeah, we are. Because this truck's all about camping, right? It's all about going outside. It's all about living the adventurous life.
In theory.
And I would get it with the adventure package.
Wow.
Mm-hmm.
Would you adventure it?
No, but that's okay. I would adventure it to Daytona and Sebring. That's where I would adventure it to.
You're funny. You're funny. What an adventure that would be.
Mm-hmm. But it would take you there, and it would go 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds.
Actually, would it take you to Daytona?
I think
From
so.
where we're at, would you have enough juice to get to Daytona?
How many miles is Daytona from here?
I don't know.
150, 200?
You know what? You keep
Okay.
thinking about it, and I'm going to find that out.
Okay. Your Singer, right? I believe that the 0 to 60 time is... Do you know what it was off the top of your head? Was it around I imagine it's around 3 seconds or something like that?
Yeah, it was 3 seconds.
This would be nearly identical in pace.
Really?
Yes.
That's
0 to 60
insane.
in 3.2 seconds. The quarter mile time for this truck, mind you, it is a truck. Okay? It's big. It would be 11.7 seconds.
That's quick. Holy
It's almost a 10-second vehicle on a drag
That's
strip.
quick.
Yeah. Do you have the distance?
I do. What's the range on this? Do you remember?
400-ish miles.
So then you actually could get to Daytona.
Just there?
Well, getting back, you would have some real range anxiety because from where we're at to Daytona is almost 200 miles.
Okay.
Which means you better not use that car in Daytona.
Which also means Sebring's no problem.
Sebring can get to. Yeah, Sebring.
Perfect. Point
Or-
made. Okay, moving on.
60 to 80 miles from Sebring. Yes.
Yes. This does make 835 horsepower.
That's a lot of horsepowers.
That is significantly more than your $2 million car.
Yeah, it is.
Yes. It does make 900 torques.
That's a lot of torques.
That's probably
Holy
too many torques.
Crap, that's a lot of torques.
Unless you're towing a ton. Now, here's the problem. Okay. This is an EV. It's a big truck. Was this full size? This is a full size truck.
I've seen it already. It doesn't look like it's a full-size truck. I think it's more of a mid-size truck. But, yeah. Like Tacoma-sized versus, like, a Super Duty size, right?
What's the difference?
The size. That's the difference.
It can't be that much difference.
Picture a Tacoma versus an F-150. There's a good difference.
There's a difference, but it's not massive.
It's pretty big.
Really? Okay. Anyway, let me go back to the numbers here.
Okay.
The weight. The weight is the big elephant in the room.
Yeah, how big of an elephant is this big?
It's 7,000 pounds.
Holy shit. That's huge.
It would, I wonder how much an elephant actually weighs.
That's 3.5 tons, dude.
It's a lot. It's a lot. But it still does 0 to 60 in 3.2 seconds on the quarter mile in almost 10 seconds.
That's because it has 835 horsepower and 908 torques.
It's fantastic. But that's not what I would buy this truck for. I'd buy this truck because it's the new hotness right now.
Sure. It's something.
It is. And I'd want to keep up with what's going on in the tech world because cars are moving into the tech world.
Yeah. They unfortunately are.
Mm-hmm.
I would not move with them. It's fine. That's why I'm getting my Singer DLS, where I can stay with my 6-speed manual, naturally aspirated flat 6. Perfect.
But I'd love to throw the tent in the little gear tunnel that they have here. I would love for it to allow me to...
You know what? Screw it. I'll put a rooftop tent on my Singer.
Hey, go ahead. That's fine. No problem. I have a bed,
Beautiful.
right? I could bust out some solar panels, charge the thing up in a long amount of time.
In a month and a half?
In a long amount of time, yes. You could reasonably tow with this vehicle. You could probably tow a lot with this vehicle, actually.
It's got 900 torques. You can tow anything.
You can tow a lot with this thing.
You can tow whatever you want.
But your range would take a big hit.
Yeah, you can tow it down the street.
Right.
But you can tow it.
And I think it does look good.
I used to disagree with you, but now that I've seen it on the road, I actually think it looks better than it does in pictures.
Interesting. Okay.
Looks better on the road than it does in pictures.
Yeah. I'm a fan of the looks. The big light bar in front it's a bold look, but I think that it pulls it off well enough.
It's decent.
Yeah. And it does look like a truck. It has the silhouette of a truck, for sure.
It does look like a truck.
And that is what certain other car companies that start with T and end in Tesla have kind of failed to understand.
Especially with their cyber
Yes.
truck.
Yes.
Agreed.
So, I suspect that next year I will have a completely different pick.
Yes, when the new iPhone comes out. Well, no, you're not. The new Android comes out. The new Google comes out. Whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But that's what I'd get. A Rivian R1T.
I will still probably have a naturally aspirated flat 6 as my pick. But I don't know which kind of naturally aspirated flat 6.
That's fine. When you break down, I will tow you home.
Might be in a Singer. Yes, you will tow me down the street because you won't have enough range to tow me all the way home.
Last talking point, though.
Okay.
The price.
Okay. How much is a Rivian R1T?
The price was irrelevant for this, right?
It was irrelevant.
Yours was $2 million?
Ish.
Okay. Good thing it was irrelevant.
That's why I picked it.
$85,000.
So you get a lot of performance for $85,000, but it's still an EV.
Question is, can you get one?
No.
That's the answer right now.
No, you can't get one.
Not reasonably.
Nope.
They've only made around 1,000 of these.
Fair. Speaking of getting one, though, there's actually someone locally that has got one.
Ooh.
So you remember last week or the week before, whenever it was, but I told you I spotted the first Rivian R1T round? Seen it again.
Fantastic.
Saw it again on the highway. It's that same yellow one that I always keep seeing.
Okay.
I didn't know they only made 1,000 of them so far.
Yeah, not good.
So that's like an actual properly good spot, it seems like then.
It is. And from what I understand, they're not pumping them out at big volumes because Mr. Jeffrey Bezos wants his electric vans for Amazon.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting, because, yeah, that just seems like, I don't know. I'm just, it's a good spot, apparently, because I did see it again, but I'm just not so sure.
Okay. Yeah.
If anyone will ever be able to buy one.
Yes.
But I suppose that's that.
Indeed it is. So, let's move on to the car spots of the week.
So I saw the new F-150 Lightning.
Interesting. How was it?
I saw a guy, just got a quick glance of it as I was driving by. You know what? It looks better than the Rivian, in my opinion.
Oh, really?
Yeah. It looks like an F-150.
Yeah. The Rivian looks like a truck, but still
Looks
a little
like a
edgy.
tech truck.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. The Lightning just looks like an F-150 that doesn't have a hole in the grill. Like, it's got the outline of the hole in the grill, but there's no actual, like, airflow vent there.
Right.
Because it obviously doesn't need it.
No. Okay.
Looks pretty good.
Just an F-150.
Yeah. If you aren't like us and are, like, super car nerds, you wouldn't have noticed it.
Oh, really? It blended in.
It did. Because At first, I was like, oh, an wait a minute. Hold on. Pause. Time out. That's not just a regular old F-150 with an eco bust. It's a proper Lightning. So I saw one on the road.
I wonder how many of those have been made.
I don't know, but it seems like they're starting to make them.
I didn't even know you could buy one right now. Well, I knew that they were like out to pre-order, but I didn't know that they were being sold and actually delivered.
Either way, saw one.
Okay.
It exists. That's for sure.
That's a cool spot.
It is a cool spot.
I want to see one of those.
Still don't want one, but it's a cool spot because it only has a range of like 2. But let me move on to my next spot.
Okay.
Spotted something very dreadful.
A Nissan Altima.
About 15 of those today alone. But
Yep.
the next actual spot I spotted was the 2022 BMW M240i in purple.
The M240i.
Yeah, so it's not the proper M2 that had the new body style M2 hasn't come out yet. It's
Yes.
the M240i.
Okay.
I did see it. You know how we were making fun of it in pictures a while ago?
Yes.
God damn, it's ugly.
Okay.
Its proportions are wrong.
It doesn't look good in person?
No. I like the color. I love that purple. That purple is gorgeous.
Yes.
But it's just like the weird angles in the grill. When I saw it on the road, I was like, like its corner fog light grills are just like,
It's got a lot of air flowing through the front of that car.
but it doesn't look proportional.
No, it doesn't. Something does look odd about it.
And arguably the worst part about the car, which I did get a good look at, is the rear.
Oh, really?
I saw it as it drove by me, going in the opposite direction. So I saw it on the front, saw it on the side, and then saw it as the back as it drove away. And as I saw it on the back, I went, oh my God, what a travesty this is.
I understand now.
It is not good. So the picture you're looking at right now, Derek, if you're listening on audio, we're looking at literally just a smack dab straight on picture of the rear. You know what that looks like?
It looks like something, but what? What?
So have you ever seen the movies Ice Age?
I think so.
It's cartoons, right?
Yeah.
There's a sloth. This
Yes,
looks like,
yes.
I think it's Sid the Sloth.
I think
from
it is
Ice
Sid the
Age.
Sloth.
Yeah. So the back of this car looks like Sid the Sloth. Tell me that does not look just like that.
Yeah. I see what you're saying.
Oh, exactly. The back of this car looks like Sid the Sloth.
Huh.
Yeah.
What do you think about the grill? Other than
Which grill?
there's
a lot of grills, it looks
there's a lot. There's a lot of openings in the front of that car. I understand that.
The kidney grills, like the BMW kidney grills?
Yeah, because
They're
they took
the-
away the big long kidney grill, right?
Yeah, they are one of the only BMW kidney grills that are not massive gaping holes.
Yes.
That you get lost in.
Right.
They
Do you
look
think that
cheap
looks
and
better?
plasticky. Better? Yes, because it's not long.
Right.
But do I think they look good? No.
Okay. I can bet you that old BMW owners are going to love this.
Even with the rear styling?
More the front.
I think they'll appreciate the kidney grills on the front, but I don't think they'll like it.
There was one shot, like this kind of shot. I could see them taking this photo or this photo all day long and just love it.
Yeah, that's good, where it's showing just the kidney grills with the purple paint.
Right. Just posting that up on their social medias and just loving them. Or even this shot where it's off-centered.
Yeah. I still don't like that fog light grill.
No, I'm not a huge fan
That
of
just
it
looks
either.
out of place.
It looks
God
odd.
damn it, BMW. Get
The
your
only
shit
thing I
together.
like about it in the front is the kidney grill. Because it's the normal size BMW kidney grill, but the rest
That's
of it, the rest has got stuff.
So it's got like
going
droopy
on.
headlights.
Yeah, it's
It's seeing
all over the place.
it in the flesh. I'm like, I don't like that. You want me to give you a couple specs on it?
yeah.
It is a turbocharged 3-liter straight six, developing 382 horsepower, 369 pound-feet of torque. It's 0 to 60 in 4.1 seconds, 155 mile an hour top speed. It's what's the price here? Oh, $50,000 base price. Let me look for the weight as well, because now I'm curious, because I didn't see the weight.
For $50,000, this is a BMW, so it's never going to be cheap. But do you really buy this for $50,000?
You know how much it weighs?
No, what?
3,871 pounds.
What?
This is a small little two-door sports coupe, and it weighs 3,871 pounds.
That would be a 4,000 pound car with a human in it.
That is a
How?
freaking 4,000 pound. Are you kidding me?
How? That is wild. Okay, I can't justify a 4,000 pound car with.
It's It's the smallest car they make.
Huh.
The 2 Series is the smallest of all their kind of sports car-ish kind of cars.
Unless it just has like a fantastic interior and like amazing tech, which BMW usually has solid interior.
It'll have solid tech, but it won't have an amazing interior.
It's okay. That's probably what it'll be. Weird. Yeah.
Yeah, that's 3,800 pounds. That's just ridiculous.
I will say it looks better than the Big Kidney Grill. That's improvements have been made. That's all I will say.
That is minor improvement, but yes.
Yes.
So that was one of my spots.
Trending in the correct direction.
Yes-ish. But I'm going to say my spot of the week is going to go to a pair of cars that I saw buzzing by on the highway just because it looked like fun.
Okay.
There is a 488 modified cruising with a Porsche GT3 cruising together.
Okay.
That was my spot of the week just because it looked like fun and it sounded great. The symphony of the two of them going whizzing by on the highway, that just made me happy.
That is fantastic.
That's why it's my spot of the week, is because it just made me happy.
That is fantastic.
Two guys out just enjoying their cars, just going for a drive, listening to the flat six howl and the turbocharged V8 in the Ferrari. Just listen to it howl.
Was it the weekend?
Yep.
Perfect.
That's my spot of the week because it just made me happy.
Perfect. On the weekend, I did see a caravan of Jaguars.
Jags.
In leading the way, what I believe was, I think it was an E-Type. Yeah.
Like an old E-Type? Like a proper E-Type?
It was an old Jag. I don't know my old Jags well enough to determine if it was exactly an E-Type, but it was definitely like around that year kind of Jag.
Man.
And behind it was, what is their new sports car?
The F-Type?
Yeah, there was an F-Type, and then behind that was one of their Jag SUVs, and then behind that was another SUV.
The F-Pace?
Whatever
it is.
It might have been those, yeah. It was just a series of Jag. There's probably 5 or 6 Jags in a row. And I was like,
All the Jags.
if they're all behind that E-Type, that has to be some sort of caravan or something.
So they're going somewhere
They're
together.
they're doing something Jag related, which is
Very
kinda
Jag-y.
interesting. Yeah.
That's cool.
But that, and I also spotted a Bentley Bentayga.
Ooh.
And I believe it was a hybrid too.
What? I didn't know they made a hybrid Bentayga.
I didn't know they made a hybrid Bentayga either.
That sounds pointless. Why would you make a hybrid of the biggest vehicle in the world?
I'm not exactly sure. But the color that I saw was actually the one that I have on screen here. It was like that red or maroon. It was a cool color. And here's a couple stats about a Bentayga. Okay. A Bentayga can go 18 miles on battery only. The hybrid version of it.
Wow.
It can go 390 miles in total with its internal combustion engine. I'm not exactly sure if it's using the internal combustion engine to charge the batteries or how that works. I don't know off the top of my head.
I'm not sure.
But you have a 3 liter V6 making 443 horsepower and around 500 pound-feet of torque. Some okay numbers.
Not the best, not the worst.
Not the best, not the worst, but it does weigh 5,800 pounds.
What? Actually,
5,000.
You know, when I put that in perspective, a hybrid Bentley Bentayga SUV only weighs 2,000 pounds more than the small two-door sports coupe BMW. If you actually think about that, this has got like quadruple the size in terms of height and length.
Yes.
And it's got double the doors. It's got a hybrid battery, which we all know weighs a gazillion tons.
Mm-hmm.
And it only weighs 2,000 pounds more than the new M240i.
Yes.
Oh my God. I don't know if that's so light for the Bentayga or just so heavy for the BMW, but either way, interesting.
Mm-hmm. The Bentley Bentayga comes in. Can you give me a guess on the price?
200 grand plus?
A little less than that, actually.
Really?
160.
Oh, wow. That's way cheaper than I thought it was going to be.
Yeah.
Now, obviously, that's not cheap, right? But that's way cheaper than I was expecting. I was expecting it to be 200 plus.
No, I'm kind of surprised that the hybrid Bentayga, 160 grand. Not bad. A solid mommy missile if you're going down that path.
Yeah.
Probably very comfy too. Probably extremely comfy, actually.
Yeah.
But would you buy that over like a BMW or an Audi or something like that?
Maybe.
If price was kind of irrelevant?
I like the Bentayga.
It's a solid looking
It's
SUV.
one of my favorite, like, ultra luxury SUVs.
Yeah.
I like the Bentayga more than I like the Lamborghini Urus.
That's an interesting take.
I like it more than I like it than the Aston DBX.
Okay.
I like it more than the Rolls-Royce Cullinan. I like it more than whatever the BMW, the Alpina XB7.
Right.
I like the Bentayga. I do.
What's the Audi SUV?
The biggest one is the SQ7, but they've got the RSQ8, which is kind of like the comparative to the Urus. It's actually an RSQ8 is just a Urus with an Audi badge on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's literally just a Urus for like 50 grand off with an Audi badge on it. I actually, careful. I may even like this just as much, if not more, than a Cayenne.
Whoa, that's not what I expected.
I like the Bentayga.
Whoa,
for the ultra luxury SUV.
It kind of checks all the boxes, doesn't it?
It looks pretty good for what it is, right?
Mm-hmm.
It's gonna be comfy.
It's Bentley. Yep. Okay.
If I'm in the market for an ultra luxury SUV, I can dig it.
Okay. I like that. That's my car spot of the week.
All right. Can dig it. So then in that case, should we move on to the I wish they would have?
We should.
All right. So you want to go first?
Let's do it.
All right. What's your I wish they would have?
So this was actually one that is a bit of a throwback for me.
Okay.
You know how your parents always give you like a box of, I don't know, papers that were from like your childhood, and you ramble through them.
Your old underwear and like all the
stuff that you completely forget about, and then when it comes back, you're like, oh, that's actually kind of neat.
Yeah.
Had one of those happen this week. There was actually an essay I had written back in, I believe it was in like 3rd or 4th grade, something like that. Yeah.
Okay.
And I chatted about, this was when I was learning to structure sentences into paragraphs and write an essay.
I'm still learning to do that.
Same. That's why I program.
Fair.
But I wrote an essay on cars running on garbage.
Oh my God.
I wish.
You are a visionary.
I wish that cars could run on garbage.
A young Derek Schmidt, a visionary before his time.
Back in like 4th grade, I was wishing that cars would run on garbage. And there's actually some science you could do here, right?
In theory, yeah.
Because we know that the landfill has a big methane flare stack where they burn off the excess methane. And that's generated by all the garbage and being compacted and decomposing over time, which is kind of interesting.
Yeah.
And in my essay, I said they could run the engine off of methane, which in theory, you could run an internal combustion engine off of methane.
It would need some work, but I think you probably could.
It's not particularly efficient, but you could. And if you engineered the engine in a different way, like maybe a Wankel or something like that, it might actually be reasonably efficient. And back when I created this, I was saying that it would be awesome because you could just take your trash that you've created at your house and just throw it in the fuel tank, which is an interesting idea. And I know that people are working on, at least for power generation, taking and burning trash at very, very, very high heat levels, many, many thousands of degrees hot. And it actually does really weird things when you combust like plastics and metals and all that. They start to conglomerate into something that's actually more efficient. And this is like a current research area that people are trying to figure out. Could we actually take garbage that's in the landfill, incinerate it at crazy high energy levels, and use it to effectively power things?
That's a good question.
Yeah. So maybe back in the day, little young Derek,
You before your time.
may have stumbled upon something.
You are a genius.
I wish they would.
That's like a proper I wish they would have. Too.
Allow me to run cars
It's like
on garbage.
like a serious like solving a crisis.
Solving many problems. You're killing so many birds with one stone.
It's a good idea.
It is. And I thought of it in like 4th grade.
Screw this whole zero emissions EV stuff. Run them on garbage.
You're running on garbage. It's great.
I love it. Oh my God, I love it so much, Derek. It's so great. 4th grade Derek is a G.
For real. Wish I
Dude.
could go back.
That's fantastic.
So what do you have?
So, I have an I wish they would have. It's a little off the wall here.
Okay.
But, have you ever been driving, especially on like a long road trip?
I've done that.
Yeah. You've driven on a long trip.
I have.
Actually, you have. Back when I lived in Tennessee, you did come see us in Tennessee.
Did?
So you've been driving on a road trip, and you go, I'm hungry. So you pull out the granola bar, like the chocolate-covered granola bar, right?
Mm-hmm.
And you start eating your granola bar. And then, because it's been in a hot car, like sitting in the sun, the chocolate's a little melty, right?
Disaster.
Yeah, it's a disaster, right? And then you go to just smash it into your face hole because you're hungry. But then you get the little chocolate, whatever, all over your fingers, in your face, and on your nose, and in your ear, and everywhere, right? I wish that cars had a little water spout, like a little tiny sink that you could just like dip your fingers in and like.
That's an interesting one.
You see where I'm going with that?
I do.
Like a little wash station inside your car.
Yeah.
Not like a lot of water, but just like a little spritz. Like, okay, I got chocolate on my fingers. Or like maybe you're insane and you try to eat hot wings while you're driving. That would be a bold move. But say you're one of those, right?
Mm-hmm.
Living on the edge. And you get buffalo wing sauce on your fingers. But then you get a really itchy eye. So now you don't want to get the buffalo wing sauce in your eye. So you got to rinse your fingers off first, right? Am I not a genius?
Boy, do I have the solution for you.
Do you?
The Toyota Mirai.
Does it have a sink in it?
It doesn't have a sink, but when it's done using its hydrogen fuel and converting it into water, it has a button that you press on the dashboard, and it pees water out the exhaust pipe.
Yes, I see where you're going with that, but I need to wash my hands. While
Okay,
I'm
but
driving.
where I'm going is you store that in a tank, and you do have a system that is relatively useful for a human to put their hands in there. Not just climbing under your Mirai and getting a little stream of water.
Like, but that's my wish I would have. I wish I have like a little water spritzer or a sink in my car.
If there were more hydrogen cars out there, it would actually be a reasonable thing to do. Because you could save the water that is converted from the hydrogen, because all they're doing is taking hydrogen and adding oxygen and turning it into water, and you could put that in a tank somewhere in the car, and you could have a little faucet somewhere. I like
your
that
hands.
I like that one.
So it's weird, but it works.
A Toyota Mirai. Never thought I'd say the day, but that could be saving your butt one day.
It could, and it may even help me wipe my butt if I'm on a road trip and have a disaster. I guess that's going to be just about time to wrap it up, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And on that bombshell, literally. So that's going to wrap us up for our 1-year anniversary. Happy birthday to the We Are Auto Show, episode 52. Thank you all so much for watching and listening. If you're on YouTube, make sure you hit thumbs up and drop a comment if you can. Would love to interact with you there. If you're listening on audio, so Apple, Spotify, wherever you might be listening, make sure you leave us a 5-star rating and drop a comment or review if you could. We'd be forever grateful for it. Also, make sure you're following us on all of our social platforms, right? Facebook is We Are Auto, Instagram, We Are Auto _, YouTube, We Are Auto, TikTok is We Are Auto as well. Again, thank you all so much. Make sure you send us your I wish they would have. And if you're at the St. Pete Grand Prix this weekend, send us your pics and videos. We'll catch you guys in the next one.
Peace.